Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to High School Baseball on the Radio. It's the last district game of the season in District 4-4A, and it means something. It's the Dumas Demons visiting the Perryton Rangers here from Mike Hargrove Field in Perryton. Welcome on, everybody. Bill Bob Thrash behind home plate in the press box, and behind the mic, your play-by-play voice, Harmony Thrash back in the studio, our studio engineer, and welcome those of you watching the replay on PTCI. The players have been introduced and are out on the field awaiting the playing of the national anthem. We're going to send it back to the studio. When we come back, we'll go up and down the lineup and around the horn. You're listening to High School Baseball on 98.3 KXDJ. Welcome back to Mike Hargrove Field, everybody. It's a district number 2 seed on the line here between the Dumas Demons and the Perryton Rangers. Glad to have you along this afternoon. 4:30 scheduled pitch, and Maurice Lemus out on the bump taking his warm-up tosses. Perryton will be in the white bottoms with red tops, white numerals, and the solid red caps. And, of course, we've got the 3-ring stirrup socks, a classic. Dumas will come into the ball game with gray uniforms, a little bit lighter gray on the bottom, a gray top with orange and black stripes around each sleeve and around the neckline, a star Texas on the front of the jersey with the 2 D's for Dumas Demons, and numerals on the back with gray color with white outline. Glad to have you along. These two teams battling for the number 2 spot in District 4-4A play, and it's all as a result of Pampa getting defeated in the last 2 games on their schedule by Dalhart 15-14 when we were playing Borger last Tuesday, and a 7-5 loss to these Dumas Demons on Friday of last week. So it sets up a playoff, or Perryton can solidify the 2 spot with a win here today. Pampa clearly in the lead. They will be the champs or the co-champs at 6-2. Perryton right back, 1 game back at 5-2. Could get the co-championship, but they would be the 2 seed with a victory here today. With a Dumas win, they're 4-3. They would tie Perryton at 5-2, causing a situation where both teams would qualify as the number 2 seed. Not sure what both teams want to do should that happen. They just want to lay all the chips on the line here today and play for it. And then Dalhart gets into the playoffs if they beat Borger today. If Borger was to defeat Dalhart, then you've got another situation for the 4 seed at the bottom of the order. Very interesting dynamic to today's matchups. Let's go up and down the lineup as Dumas comes ready to the bat. Damian Orozco will play center field and bat in the leadoff spot. Omar Delgado plays left field and bats second. Terrence Florence in the 3-hole plays shortstop. Caleb Stovall will clean things up and play first base. Ethan Town plays third base and bats in the 5 spot. Brott Kinnican, the right fielder, in 6 and 7, 8, and 9 find Kyler Weatherford, Rodrigo Parra, and Spencer Williams, the catcher. Dumas up to the bat with Damian Orozco, the center fielder, and we are underway. It's a ground ball to the first base side going foul. The first ball down the line touches the chalk line and bounces away from Levi Stevens at first base. Around the horn we go. Maurice Lemus on top of the bump. Zane Eiler behind the mask. Stevens at first base. Joseph Jenkins at second. And Eric Narano gets the start at the third sack. Connor Lane will be the shortstop. Here's the 0-1 pitch down in the dirt as Lemus buries one in front of the plate. It's Reese Atkinson in left, Nick Alvera in center, and Jahir Ramiro in right field. Here's the 1-1 from Lemus, who likes to play quickly. Curveball stays a little bit down. Those numerals I mentioned from Dumas, they're kind of an unusual color scheme on the back. They're actually not orange numerals. They're that gray fabric color with an orange and white outline, and what looks to be a little bit of a graphic in there as well. Pitches in there for a called strike, 2-2. Just underway. Leadoff hitter is Damian Orozco against Maurice Lemus. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Lemus with a good off-speed pitch there and gets his first strikeout recorded of the ball game. And in the top of the first inning, there's one away. Omar Delgado, the left fielder, stands in. And another interesting factoid about the Dumas uniform scheme, they also have the 3-ring stirrup socks. Gotta love them. Here's the first pitch. Lemus in there, right across Broadway for the called strike. Black batting helmets for Dumas as they have the kind of an unusual color scheme for their jerseys. Here's Lemus on the 0-1. Ground ball to the shortstop. There's Connor Lane. Up and over to Stevens. He'll have to make the tag as he's pulled off the base to the home plate side, but he does make the tag on Delgado running down the line, 2 steps in front of the bag. It'll go 6-3 on the tag. And in the top of the first inning, there's 2 away. Terrence Florence now stands in. Flores, the shortstop, bats out of the 3 spot. 2 out, nobody on. Top of the first, just underway. Good to have you along. Lemus on a week's break is able to get refreshed and hopefully be able to stand on top of the bump all game. That pitch is away, gets away from Eiler back to foul territory and the wall. Had a rough outing against Borger, but his bats got hot and allowed the Rangers to come back from an 11-3 deficit to score 11 in a row and win 14-12 last Tuesday. And talking to the head coach for the Dumas Demons before the ball game, and he was like, hey, we were listening to you, and we were pulling for you guys because it sounded like y'all were going to get beat by Borger, and that would have not allowed us to get solidified. Pitches upstairs for a ball for the district playoff spot. So the Dumas coach was very interested in our game on Tuesday as they had the day off after the victory. The 3-0 pitch is in there for a called strike, and the batter, Flores, thought he was going to get the base on balls, but no, says home plate umpire Terry Frost. 3-1 is away. He walked him. It'll be Flores who will get the base on balls. 2 out, 1 on. Top of the first, no score. Good to have you along. First walk given up by Lemus. A 2-man umpire crew here today. We're in the gray bottoms and the black tops. You've got Charles Curl out in the middle of the infield and Terry Frost behind the gear. Here's the first lefty of the ball game. Caleb Stovall takes one the other way down the third base line. Foul. Stovall, the first baseman. Going back to the last ball game that these two teams played earlier on in the season, where the Rangers were able to defeat the Dumas Demons 10-3 on April the 2nd. Here's the pitch, off-speed pitch away for a ball. No, a late call strike by Terry Frost, 0-2. Since that time, on April the 2nd, the Demons have really mixed up their batting lineup. I'll go into a little bit more about that throughout the ball game. Here's the pitch going the opposite way is the batter Stovall, and he'll tap it to Stevens at first base, and he'll go to the bag unassisted and tag out. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on after a half. We're scoreless. Rangers come up to the plate with Connor Lane, Maurice Lemus, Joseph Jenkins, and more after this 1-minute timeout on 98.3 KXDJ. Welcome back to Mike Hargrove Field on it's not a bad day. It's not a sunny day. It's not really a windy day, but it's got a little bit of everything involved. A little bit of moisture fell this morning. The field is holding up quite well. Not enough moisture to really make those baselines or play around second base or third base muddy. And we've got a 58-degree temperature here at Mike Hargrove Field. Winds out of the north at 9 miles per hour. Glad to have you along. Bottom of the first inning coming up. Coach Cameron Lingor and Coach Kelly Cowan facing off against one another here today. Let's take a look at the Ranger batting lineup. I mentioned Connor Lane will lead things off. He'll play shortstop and bat in the leadoff spot. Maurice Lemus pitches and bats second. Joseph Jenkins, the second sacker, bats in the 3 spot. Nick Alvera, the center fielder, cleans things up out of the 4 hole. Reese Atkinson in the 5 spot out on left field. The third baseman is Eric Narano, and he'll bat in the 6 spot. We'll get 7, 8, and 9 after this first pitch from Para. Off-speed pitch, and Lane pops one up first base side, going foul over there by the PTCI cameraman on the first base side. Wow, that was close, but he was determined. I'm getting the shot. Zane Eiler catches and bats in the 7 spot. Logan Boxwell is the DH and bats out of the 8 spot for Levi Stevens, the first baseman. And at the bottom of the order, Jahir Ramiro bats 9th and plays right field. We'll go around the horn after this 0-1 pitch to Connor Lane, the leadoff hitter for the Perryton Rangers. Here's the pitch. Oh, he took one for the team as he turned away, and it hit him on the left shoulder. And Lane will get aboard as a result of the HBP. Leadoff man is aboard for the Rangers. Para on top of the hill, Williams behind the mast, Stovall at first, Weatherford at second, Town is at third base, and Flores is the shortstop. From left field to right field, you've got Delgado, Orozco, and Kinnikin, the right fielder. Here's Maurice Lemus trying to help his own cause as this traditional big day pitching lineup finds Lemus on the hill and Eiler behind the mast. Lemus caught for some time, but has been pulled out into the infield during his non-starting days. Pitches in there for the called strike on the outside part of the plate from the righty, Para. Rodrigo Para, the pitcher. Connor Lane at first base takes a pretty good lead. Check over there by Para, and he'll look downtown. Lemus is showing bunt. They'll go to first, but not in time. Third baseman Town really charging up. They think that Lemus is going to try to bunt one down the third base line and get Connor Lane. I've seen players here in the past couple of years fake that bunt, pull it back, and then take kind of a short check swing to try to pop it over the third baseman's head, and that generally results in extra bases. Here comes Town charging in. Lemus shows bunt, pulls it off. The pitch is upstairs for a ball. 2-1 to Maurice Lemus. He's got a hitter's count. Interesting dynamic out of the district that these two teams will face in the South Plains as District 3 and 4 play one another in the opening round of the playoffs, and it will be a 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3 type matchup. Pitches inside to Lemus, now 3-1. Hereford and Estacado finished up in a tie for that second spot, and they've already decided what they want to do. They finished both at 5-3 in the district, and Estacado wanted to play a 3-game series wanted to play it off, wanted to play a seeding game, and Hereford said, no, we don't want to play a seeding game, and Estacado said, yeah, we want to play a seeding game. Here's 3-1. It's in there for the called strike. Filler up at 2 balls and 2 strikes now. I had that as a 3-1, but in fact it was a 2-2 pitch. So they can't come to an agreement whether they're going to play a seeding game or not, so they say, well, how about we just flip it? So they flipped to decide whether they're going to flip or play the series. Pitches away for ball 3, filler up at 3-2. So they can't agree. Seeding game, series, or 1 game, and they say, no, we don't want to do that, so they flip. Okay, if we win the flip, then we get to decide whether we're going to not play the series or accept the flip. And so they say, okay. So they flip twice. I've never seen that before. That takes me back to the old Odessa Permian day where they had to flip that quarter in that store. Hard hit ball from Lemus into center field, but it looks playable. And Orozco will run up to his right and pull down the fly ball. Connor Lane gets back to first base in time. That ball looked like it was going to get into the gap at left center field, but Orozco's got pretty good speed as he ran to his right about 15 to 20 yards and picked that one off midair about shoulder high. It'll go PO8 in my book, and in the bottom of the first inning, there's 1 away. For Joseph Jenkins, the second sacker for the Rangers. So as it stands out of that district, the winner will be the Canyon Eagles at 7-1. Estacado and Hereford tied, but it will be Hereford as the 2 seed. Pitches away for a ball. Estacado then, as a result of the double flip, will be the 3 seed. Leveland sneaks in at 3 and 5 for the 4 seed, and La Mesa gets swept away as the Tornadoes go 0-8 in district play. Ay, ay, ay. Connor Lane at first base. Joseph Jenkins in the box. 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the first inning, we're scoreless. Here's Para, set at the belt. Little slow ground ball through the gap in between the pitcher and second base. Pulled off by the second baseman. It'll go 4-6-3 for the double play. Weatherford, Flores to Stovall. What a play as that ball had some wicked, gnarly spin. And the second baseman, Weatherford, made a very tough play. Looked very routine. No runs, no hits, no errors. 3 up and 3 down in the home first. We're scoreless going into the top of the second on 98.3 KXDJ. Boy. Welcome back to Mike Hargrove Field on a nice 58-degree Tuesday afternoon. Glad to have you along. Maurice Lemus still in the warm-up tosses to Zane Eiler. This will go to second base, and we'll be underway with the top of the second inning. 3 up and 3 down. A very good play there by the second baseman, Weatherford, who caught that ball on a sideways spin, underhand tossed it over to the shortstop Flores and over to Stovall with a quick pick. And Joseph Jenkins just a little bit out of the pocket as that double play retired the side. In this inning, it'll be 5, 6, and 7 scheduled up. Town, Kinnican, and Weatherford. 5, 6, and 7 in the Dumas lineup. A right-hander, Ethan Town, the third baseman, stands in. Crowds that box, and of course the chalk line that they work on so diligently each and every ball game is gone already. It normally is, as the kids say. I hate this chalk. I'm kicking it away. It never lasts more than a couple of innings. Foul ball makes the count 1-1 after Lemus puts one on the outside for ball one. That one came down and possibly hit Town on the toe. He's taken a moment, as that was one of those straight down foul balls. And normally the umpire will give the young man, whether it's the catcher or the batter, a little bit of time. They'll stall by going out to talk to the pitcher, or they'll clean home plate or something to allow that pain to subside. Here's the 1-1. Pitches away and gets away from Eiler. It'll be a 2-1 count. You take a look at Dumas's lineup from April the 2nd to today, where the Rangers were able to get that victory 8-3. And it's quite a different look from both of these teams. 10-3 that score, 10-3, not 8-3. 3-1 now from Lemus. You've got the starting pitcher on that day that was, he's not even in the lineup. Jason Norman, Omar Delgado was the DH. He led off that day, and he's not even in the lineup. Line drive into center field. That'll get in there for the base hit. Alvera comes over to cut it off to his right, but that was solidly hit into left center field, and that'll be a leadoff single for Ethan Town. First hit of the ball game against Maurice Lemus. We kind of joked in that April the 2nd game as Maurice went through, it looks like 4 scoreless innings, hitless innings in fact, and then the damage was done in the 7th, and the no-hitter was lost in that 7th inning with a base hit. Here's a ground ball, routine, Jenkins, Lane, Stevens, and he's safe. Just a little bit high with the throw on the fielder's choice to complete the double play. Kennican with a roller to Jenkins, underhand toss 4-3 for the lead runner, Town. He's erased, and it'll be Kennican aboard with the fielder's choice. And in the top of the 2nd inning, there's 1 away. Slow roller to the second baseman, Jenkins, but Lane a little bit high on the throw, couldn't complete the double play. And the 2 umpires, Curl and Frost, are going to go on the first base side and confer, as I believe Coach Cowan called for a review, and Curl and Frost agree that the runner at first base was safe. Had that ball been a little bit more in front of Levi Stevens with that long 6'6" frame, I believe he would have been able to stretch out, but because it was high, that leverage and that extra extension couldn't be used by the tall first baseman, and that allowed an extra step to be had by the base runner to be safe at first base. Pitches in there as Lemus poured one over Broadway for the first called strike. Throw over to first base, not in time. Kennican gets the gray bottoms a little bit dingy with the head first dive. Here's Kyler Weatherford, the second baseman. Here's the pitch. Reaches out and touches it to Jenkins. Overhead to Connor Lane, to first base, to Stevens. Again, the base running by Dumas pretty quick down the line, and the double play won't be intact, but the middle infielders are able to keep that lead runner off of second base. It'll go 4-6 at second base as the second hard shot to Jenkins is in back-to-back hitters. And it'll be Weatherford safe at first on the fielder's choice as he beat the throw again a little bit high to Stevens from Connor Lane, who really sailed that one, has a good arm, pitches with probably the best velocity on the staff, but just a little bit high to complete the double play. Pitches upstairs for ball 2, 2-0. This is the 8-hole hitter, Rodrigo Parra, the pitcher, going head-to-head against Maurice Lemus. Throw over to first base, gets out of the glove of Stevens, but Weatherford is in there safely. Got an interesting dynamic also with the layoff coming up. The UIL generally allows this week as the final game of the season with different types of district and district teams. Of course, it all varies, but the way this district matched up, ball gets away from Eiler 3-0. It makes it to where a seeding game is possible for this weekend, Friday or Saturday. Pitches inside for a called strike. He burnt the inside part of the plate, and Parra won't get the free pass just yet, 3-1. So a seeding game could be happening Friday or Saturday. Swing and a miss, 3-2. But for the by-district round, the opening round of the playoffs, those have to be completed by the first Saturday in May. So there actually won't be a series or a playoff game until next weekend. 3-2 pitch is a ground ball again to Jenkins. He's got a choice, underhand to Lane, and the side is retired. All the action to second base as Jenkins completes the trifecta, going 4-6, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, and through an inning and a half, we're scoreless at Mike Hargrove Field on 98.3 KXDJ. Maurice Lemus in pretty good shape through 2 innings, 29 pitches in his 2 innings of work, 10 in the first, much more economical in that 3 up and 3 down, or rather that inning where he gave up a walk that left him stranded. And coming up for Parra, for Dumas, he's coming into this inning with 15 pitches in his repertoire. Here's Nick Olvera out of the 4 spot for the good guys. It'll be Olvera, Atkinson, and Naranjo scheduled up here in the home second. Olvera with good speed and a good bat. He lines one in between the hole between short and third. That'll be a leadoff single for Nick Olvera. First hit of the ball game for the Rangers. They had a base runner in Connor Lane, but he got there as a result of getting hit in the left shoulder. And now Olvera busts up the no-no, and Parra now can focus on other things. It'll be a tall strike zone for Reese Atkinson that he'll focus on now as the left fielder stands in. Atkinson, good size, good arm as far as pitching goes, and a solid left fielder. Showing bunt, pulls it back, did not make an effort. It'll be a ball, 1-0. Each team has a hit. We're scoreless with 1 on and nobody out in the bottom of the second inning. Rangers trying to lock down the 2 spot and be the co-champions as Pampa is at the top of the heap with a 6-2 mark, but lost their last 2 coming in to try to go undefeated. Showing bunt. Reese lays it down in front of the pitcher. He'll take the easy out at first base. It'll be a sacrifice bunt for Reese Atkinson, and the out will be recorded 1-3 as the pitcher Parra is able to come off to his left and field that. Popped it or lined it just a little bit more than probably he would have wanted, but Nick Olvera at first base was gamely down the line and was going to get there either way. So take the easy out, and it will allow the Rangers now to move them around the sacks in the bottom of the second inning. There's 1 away for Eric Naranjo, the 3rd sacker. Naranjo has been moved around, has played in the outfield, played a little bit of third base, and kind of a utility player for Coach Kelly Cowan. Pitches in there for the called strike on the breaking ball from Parra. Working on that outside of the part of the plate as Naranjo already crowds in to where that batter's box chalk line used to be. And I say used to be because every player goes, ooh, I hate this chalk. I'm swiping it away, swipe it away, swipe it away now. Pitches up for a ball. Dumas in the gray uniforms, the Star State of Texas logo on the front, black hats, orange and white accents on a gray, dreary gray uniform. Here's Narano, open stance, looks to Parra, straightens it up and takes a good cut, fouls it off the right shoulder, up into the netting for a ball and 2 now. A couple of feet in the bucket for Narano. He'll have to find something he can drive. And I'm not talking about something down to Chihuahua Auto Sales. I'm talking about something out into the outfield to get Olvera on his horse. Bring something in. Let's break this deadlock early in the ball game. Put the pressure on the Dumas Demons. Here's Parra, comes set at the belt. The 1-2 pitch. Narano stays alive on the off speed, just goes the other way, but really stayed with that pitch. It was breaking away from him, and a little bit of a slider that got hung out in the other side of the box. May have been a ball, but fights to live another day here, 1-2. Good crowd on hand for the last district ball game, last home game of the series. It's senior day. Pitches a bouncer in there to the catcher, Williams. He does a good job not letting it get back into foul territory. A lot of room here at Hargrove Field, and some of the foul territory, the grass has kind of been kicked away by some of the players doing infield and outfield practice just left of home plate. But other than that, beautiful surrounding here at Mike Hargrove Field. The shortstop falls down. The ground ball goes to the second baseman, and it's muffed, and everybody is safe. Wow. My attention got broke away because before the pitch, the shortstop, Flores, was dancing in there. He was going to make a play behind Olvera. At second, he falls down. Narano grounds one over to Weatherford at second base, and the shortstop's like, oh, my God, we're in play. We're going to have to score that E4 on the shot by Narano to the second baseman, Weatherford. But I'm not sure he had anybody to throw it to if it had been able to bring that ground ball in, as he was late from Flores after falling on his buttocks. Here's Narano. He'll take second base easily. It'll be defensive indifference for the third baseman, Narano, with a stolen base. Now the lefty, Zane Eiler, the catcher, can swing away. Runners at second and third, 1 out in a scoreless inning and a half. Here's Parra, comes set at the belt. Eiler looks in and makes a good cut on it. It's fouled off to the left side, and it'll go out of play as all the left side of the infield and outfield try to chase that one and try to record the second out. Eiler will just pick up the stick and get a regrip. Olvera at third, Narano at second. 2 on, 1 out, no score. Bottom of the second inning, last game of the season for the 2 seed. 1-1 count coming up here. From Parra, looks in to Eiler, the lefty. Goes the other way, and it gets by the third baseman. That'll be E5, and a run will score. Olvera comes in for the leading run as Eiler goes the other way, and a little chop shot to the third baseman, Flores, or make that town. He kind of got set up for a hard line drive, I think, and that ball didn't have as much velocity as what he thought. He kind of backed up thinking, oh, my God, what is this going to do? Is it going to bounce, or is it going to be hot? What am I doing? And just caught the webbing of the glove. That'll be the second error of the ball game, and Olvera will be driven in. And at third base, Narano going on contact. Eiler is safe at first base. He'll get a courtesy runner in for the catcher. He'll get to go put on the gear as Jesus Miranda will come in and run for the catcher. E4, the call. E5, I'm sorry. E5, the third baseman, Town, will record the second error of the ball game for the Demons. Runners on the corners again, station to station. And Miranda will take second as the ball gets away from Williams. And again, defensive indifference, a pass ball. You say tomato, I say clamato. It's about the same. Logan Boxwell, the designated hitter, batting for Levi Stevens, the first baseman, out of the 8-hole. Boxwell, a grand slam against the comeback and the Borger Bulldogs last Tuesday with runners in scoring position. The Baltimore chopper to the third baseman. He'll take the easy out, but be pulled off of the bag. Safe! Safe at first base, and a run will score. Town having a difficult time at third base. He fielded that, but the throw was to the first base side, And Stovall doesn't have near the height that Levi Stevens has over there in that range of those long, lanky arms. Stovall was pulled away from first base into foul territory and a couple of steps towards home plate. And he tried to make the backward swipe tag on Boxwell as he ran by, but Boxwell kind of, my hamstrings sore kind of run there to get on the bag, and everybody's safe. They go station to station once again, 2-0 Rangers. And Boxwell will get into a double steal situation. Here's Miranda caught in a rundown. 2-5-1. Miranda will be out at third base. Jesus Miranda gets caught at third base on the double steal, and Coach Kelly Cowan is not a happy camper. The whole idea behind the double steal was not to sacrifice your lead runner, but to sacrifice the backside runner. Miranda gunned down. 2-5-1-6. And in the bottom of the second inning, there's 2 away. Boxwell takes second. Here's a hard hit shot that goes in between shortstop and third base. Runners being waved home. Here's the throw. Here's the play at the plate. He's safe at home. Boxwell comes home to score the third run of the ball game. Jair Romero with an RBI double into left field. That'll be the second hit of the ball game after 3 errors on the Dumas Demons. And coach for the Demons, Cameron Lingor, says, hold them up. We got to talk. Little break in the action. Rangers put 3 on the board and have a runner at second base with 2 outs. We're back after this short timeout in 30 seconds on 98.3 KXDJ. Here's the pitch to Connor Lane. It's in there for a called strike. Coach Lingor just had a little come-to-Jesus meeting with his entire infield after the Rangers bring home 3 runs on 3 Dumas errors and a couple of hits by Perryton. Connor Lane now back up top of the order, and that breaking ball holds upstairs and inside for the ball. 1-1 to Lane. 1 on, 2 out, 3 in. Bottom of the second. Rangers lead at 3-0, and they've batted around here. Back up to the top of the order. This is the 7th batter of the inning. Foul ball off towards the cameraman. Camera guy, you're getting a lot of action over there today. He's looking through the viewfinder and is going, everything's good. You got landmines going all over the place over there. Good to have PTCI here today. We're they've got my audio today. Very grateful for that, and you'll be able to see those replays coming up next week, and hopefully Rangers can get a win, get the 2 seed. Ball gets away from Williams. Runner goes, and he's safe. Romero takes the stolen base after the pass ball. Williams had it slide away and spin in the dirt. And Jair Romero says, I'm on go. 1 base running mistake only. And for Jesus Miranda, not a lot of activity, but he'll learn something from that last experience as the Rangers had the double steal on, and he got caught in the rundown. Here's Lane up top, and the second baseman, Weatherford, one-hops it to get the rebound and pulls down the snow cone. Look, Mom, what I found. Connor Lane, LD4, and the side is retired. 3 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 left, and Dumas committed 3 errors. Through 2 innings complete. Good guys 3, Demons 0 on 98.3 KXDJ. Top of the 3rd inning coming up here from Mike Hargrove Field on a overcast Tuesday. Sun trying to burn a hole through those clouds over above third base. Possibly can get her done here today. Here's the first pitch as Lemus rears back and throws the heater, but it is a little bit overthrown and goes in the dirt for ball 1 to Dumas here in the top of the 3rd inning. 9-hole hitter and Spencer Williams comes in and will lead things off. Then back up the top of the order, 9, 1, and 2, Williams, Orozco, and Delgado. Here's a little swinging bunt caught in foul territory. And that'll be a foul ball, 1-1, as Eiler comes out to try to make the play. Zane Eiler fielded that in foul territory and went ahead and made the throw to Stevens. A little bit of hop left on that ball, and that's a tough call when it's close to that foul line. Do I take it? Do I keep the foul ball intact? Do I go ahead and play it in fair territory. Those are all the things that players go through with their mind in those tight situations where a ball is around the chalk line or in foul territory around home plate. A lot of times the best play is to try to catch it in foul territory and just hit the reset button. 2-2 now as Lemus rears back and throws the heater a little bit upstairs for ball 2. I'd like to thank our KXDJ Booster Club members for their participation in the Booster Club. 2-2 pitch. Check swing. Breaking ball. Goes outside for ball 3. 3-2. Filler up. Something's got to give here. Perryton National Bank, DeWitt Brothers Roofing, the Hansford County Vet Hospital, Robertson Wireline, Chihuahua Auto Sales. Thank you for your support. 3-2 pitch. Curveball, strike 3, you're out of there. Bang, bang. Breaks one off of the table and gets the backwards K. Maurice Lemus. Nice pitch. And in the top of the 3rd inning, there's one away. Second strikeout for Lemus. He's so far only given up 1 hit on the day, walked 1, and now struck out 2. And he's been very clean in his efforts. The situation in Borger was just a comedy of errors on last Tuesday. Here's a 2-hopper to Connor Lane. One-hand grab over in time. 6-3 to Levi Stevens. And Damian Orozco is erased on the ground ball to the shortstop. In the top of the 3rd inning, there's 2 away for Omar Delgado. Hit to Connor Lane in the 1st inning. Lane with a little bit of a wide throw, but the long wingspan of Levi Stevens helped out the junior shortstop on the tag. Good pitch there by Lemus on the called strike. He's identified the outside part of the plate, and he's got the breaking ball working for him here in the early part of the ball game. 15 pitches for Para in that last inning. He totals 30 coming in to his next inning of work. Lemus started this off with 29 after going clean with only 10 pitches in the 1st, 19 in the 2nd. Here's the 1-1. Again, a nice pitch by Lemus, and Terry Frost rings him up on the delay count. 1-2 to Delgado, who's got a couple of feet in the bucket here, facing Maurice Lemus. He likes to work quickly. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball. Taken the other way. Foul. Down the first base line. Lemus, he doesn't waste any time. He likes to get that ball, come set, wait for the batter to stand in, and as soon as he locks step and launches that bat above the shoulder, Maurice has got the finger on the ball and he's ready to bring it. Ground ball left side, foul. As he's gone to both directions now, Delgado making Lemus work hard in this inning. 2 out, nobody on. 3-0 Rangers through 2 2/3, or actually 2/3 of a half, whatever that comes out to. I have to get my slide rule out. Pitch inside for the ball on 1-2. Now 2-2. Deuces are wild on the board. Omar Delgado. Delgado was one of those players that wasn't even in the lineup on the April 2nd meeting. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken up in the air to center field. Alvaro's got a play on it. Moves to his left and puts away the can of corn. PO 8 in the book. 3 up and 3 down in the visitors' 3rd. Good guys 3, Dumas 0. 98.3 KXDJ. Welcome back. Bottom of the 3rd inning. We had a pitching change, so we took a little bit of an extended break to try to get the player switches intact. So Para only goes 2 innings and 29 pitches. Here's the bottom of the 3rd inning. Swing and a miss as Maurice Lemus tries to launch one on that first pitch. It'll be 0-1 as Para's day is over. He gives up 3 runs on 2 hits. And Lemus now will help his own cause. High fly ball, first base side, foul into the area next to the stands. It appears that the center fielder, Orozco, comes in to pitch. And they also bring Bolter out of the dugout to play 3rd base. And because Dumas doesn't have anything on the front of their jersey as far as the number goes, except for the logo, we'll have to wait for the center fielder to turn around and see who that is. That was the difficulty, looking on to the front of these jerseys. We're going, well, that guy looks different. Who is that? I don't know. He won't turn around. So will be a little bit of a delay to figure out who is in center field. Actually, who's on first? We all know that, right? Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know. Who's on third? Pitch is away for the foul ball. We'll try to effort that, but the center fielder is unknown at this time. Orozco in relief. Bottom of the third. Lemus swings at one, but it gets away from Williams. It'll have to be assisted, and it is. It goes 1-2 to 3 as Lemus strikes out to lead off the third inning. Lemus with a strikeout. That's the first from Orozco and the first by Perryton hitters, in spite of going 3 up and 3 down in the first inning. And in the bottom of the third inning, there's one away. Perryton scored 3 in the second inning on 2 hits and 3 Dumas errors. They stayed at first and third for quite a while during that inning. Here's a line drive down the first base line. It'll go foul as Joseph Jenkins stands in. The second baseman was active in his last inning, as those slow rollers came his way. Had a chance, he and Connor Lane, to complete a couple of double plays, but the situation where Dumas runners were faster than the throw by Connor Lane. The center fielder gave me a little bit of a turn of the shoulder, but just didn't expose his back. So we're just going to have to wait. Jenkins waves that bat around. Slow roller to the shortstop. Scoops it, fires it, and it's a close play, but he's out of there. Good bang play by the shortstop Flores. It'll go 6-3 on the ground ball, and Jenkins is erased. In the bottom of the third inning, there's 2 away. Good play there by Flores, who made a aggressive move up to the baseball, fielded it cleanly, and really got it out of that glove quick as Jenkins was running down the line. Here's Nick Olvera, speaking of somebody with some speed. Takes a look at the first pitch over the plate. It's strike one. Thank you, Security Insurance, First National Bank, Equity Exchange, and PTCI, who's filming the game here today for delayed broadcast, part of our KXDJ Booster Club. Olvera with a good eye looks at ball 1-1 to the senior, Nick Olvera. Right-handed batter, straight on stance, kind of sits down a little bit in his shtick. Here's a shallow ground ball, fly ball rather, through the middle of the infield, just over the pitcher and in front of second base. And the middle infielders were playing so deep they couldn't get to the ball. It'll be like a little Texas leaguer bloop, as that ball had a lot of spin on it and just crossed over the top of Orozco. The pitcher fell in there in front of second base on the first base side, and Olvera, even though there was no throw at first base, slid in head first for the third hit of the ball game. A 2-out single for Nick Olvera. Little looper behind the mound. Olvera fooled him there. This is Reese Atkinson out of the 5-hole for the Rangers. Pitch inside for the ball. Orozco coming on in relief as Parra's day is finished. Not sure what's going on there, but Parra pitched only 2 innings, gave up 3 runs on a couple of hits. Runner goes. Atkinson tries to fight it off and protect the runner, Olvera, but it is a foul on the first base side. Parra, as we close his book, gives up 3 runs on 2 hits. No strikeouts, no walks, but hit 1 in 2 innings of work. He's on the hook for the loss. Reese Atkinson in the box with a runner at first base and 2 out in the bottom of the third. Orozco, a right-hand pitcher, looks over to first. Swing and a miss. Good cut there by Reese Atkinson. And he's got a couple of feet in the bucket at 1 and 2. Atkinson trying to look for something he can drive. Thanks, Edward Jones, Area Eye Center, the Perryton Activity Center, and First Bank Southwest. Thank you for your support in the KXDJ Booster Club. As well as old Brad Herring at A-Tech for You. Going to put on the snorkel and go look at some underwater fishes. coming up. They like to dive. Have fun, Bradley. Swing and a foul ball. Off over the right shoulder and out of play. Thanks Schilling Electric, Williams Plumbing, Interstate Bank, Villagron Energy, Adobe Walls Gin, the Perryton Golf Club, N5 Wireline, and F&F Plumbing for your participation in the KXDJ Booster Club. Atkinson staying alive, 1-2 as Orozco turns his back to the first base runner and brings the curveball, hangs upstairs for ball 2, 2-2 as Atkinson makes the reliever Orozco work hard here. Still looking to identify the center fielder. That's the great mystery in the game show here today. Peek over the shoulder, Orozco brings it. Atkinson goes to the hole in between short and third and puts another 2-out single on the board, and the Rangers have a little something cooking here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Runners at first and second with 2 out. Atkinson with a base hit. Looked like the shortstop Flores got a little bit fooled there as he turned around and went the other way. You remember a little while ago he was making that same play and fell on his buttocks and was out of the play on a ground ball that went to the second baseman Weatherford. That time made a break for second base, and Atkinson put it the other way, kind of like in tennis where they kind of hit it behind you, and Flores couldn't recover fast enough on the diving stab try, and the ball got into left field. Here's Eric Naranjo. Takes a good cut at one, but pulls it foul. I had the center fielder turn his back to me, and I was like, oh, I got him. And then like at deer hunting, when you get your rifle up, and then the deer goes away or runs away, you're like, oh! Naranjo, again, a good cut at that one, but it will be fouled as well. Naranjo going to have to work inside of a jam. 0-2 now to the third sacker, Eric Naranjo, with runners at first and second and 2 outs. 3-0 Rangers through 2 2/3. Here's Orozco. Look over to second base. Good lead off there by Alvera. Naranjo makes a good cut at it, but with first base occupied, shouldn't be a question. Back over to third base, safe at third. Bases loaded on the strikeout. Dropped strike 3 for the catcher Williams, and the bags are juiced. Alvera at third, Atkinson at second, and now Eric Naranjo at first base. And this is the lefty, Zane Eiler, looking for something he can drive. Last time the Rangers had the bases loaded, Logan Boxwell went yard and started an 11-run comeback. Different situation here today. Still Maurice Lemus on the pitch. That's the only thing common about it, is the Rangers never were able to get the lead after plating a couple of runs in the top of the first inning. Borger put 4 on behind many Ranger errors last Tuesday, and it looked pretty dismal there going into the 5th inning. Rangers down 11-3. You're like, oh my goodness, run rule really in Borger today? But then da-da-da-da-da-da, charge, here they came. Pitches away, and Williams saves the day as Eiler creates a little different dynamic coming out of that left side batter's box. Zane Eiler, the catcher, reached base on an error by the third baseman in the previous inning, but Miranda, his base runner, his courtesy runner, got thrown out in a rundown on a double steal. Rangers tried to get Boxwell to be the bait and get caught in between first and second, but the catcher Williams wisely, with a little peripheral vision, went over to third base as Miranda was hung off of the bag over there, and it didn't work out his plan. Swing and a foul tip on the 3-0, a green light for Eiler. And that's a rare opportunity for a batter to be given a green light on 3-0. And either the umpire or the catcher may have caught a little piece of that one, and so both the home plate umpire is going to clean the dish, and Charles Curl's going to kick the dirt off of the rubber on top of the mound. Now Orozco back in action against Eiler. Pitches upstairs. It's an RBI walk, and the Rangers lead it 4-0. Eiler gets the base. on balls. First walk given up by Orozco and on the day for Ranger batters. Here comes Miranda back into the ball game. He'll run for Eiler, the catcher, who will go back and put on the gear. It'll be an RBI for Zane Eiler, walking in the 4th run of the ball game. Bases loaded for a familiar opportunity here in Logan Boxwell. 338 down the line left, 379 to right field, 330 to the gap in right field, and 364 to left center field, where Eiler put one over the border fence. The right-hander looking for something he can drive here, and he could really change the game. 4-0, and the bases are loaded. 2 outs for Logan Boxwell. 0-1 pitch coming up. It's a ground ball to the third baseman. Bobbled. Runners are going to be safe. Safe. As the second error on the third baseman comes into play. Make that the 3rd error on the third baseman. The first, however, on Bolter, who's come in after that pitching change. E5, and the run scores. 5-0 Perryton. And here's Jahir Romero, who hit a double and scored a run in his previous at-bat. A bouncer on the dish from Orozco, and you can feel the body language for the Demons kind of coming unraveled here, as they thought they were going to get out of the inning and now are facing a situation that they really aren't comfortable with. Here's a ball that gets away from Williams. A run will score, and the bases are moved up as well. That's Eric Narano coming in for the 6th run of the ball game on the pass ball. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Miranda running for Eiler goes to 3rd, and Logan Boxwell takes 2nd on the pass ball from Williams. 3 runs in the 2nd, now 3 runs in the 3rd. 2 on, 2 out, 3 in, 6-0 Rangers. Swing and a miss for Romero. 2-1 count to Jahir. Jahir coming in the middle part of the season, got some base running opportunities through some of the early games, but took over for Vela in right field a couple of games ago in the middle of the ball game, and has held on to that starting spot since then. 3-1 now on the cut by Romero. He'll stand back in, and now Orozco goes about 6'3", a tall frame, brings it. Pitches inside. He'll be awarded the base. Home balls. Bases loaded for the Rangers once again. The 2nd walk recorded in the inning for Orozco. And here comes Connor Lane for the 3rd time at bat. This will be his first look at Orozco. Lane 0 for 1 today. Got hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. Lined to 2nd for the 3rd out in the 2nd. Lane, bases loaded, 2 out. Line drive, gets on the other side of the second baseman into right field. 1 run will score. Around 3rd and coming for home. Here's Boxwell, he'll score. 2-run single for Connor Lane. 8-0 Rangers. And the Rangers have batted around in the 3rd inning. And we could have a pitching change here, as the coach for Dumas is coming out here and possibly wondering, why did I pull my starter? Pitching change in the middle of the 3rd inning with 2 outs. We'll take an extended break and try to get you all the information. You're listening to High School Baseball on 98.3 KXDJ. Pitching change, bottom of the 3rd inning. Runners on the corners. And the Rangers have brought in now 5 runs in the inning. Got a little something cooking here for Maurice Lemus, trying to help his cause. You got to feel like Maurice is feeling pretty good. Jason Norman comes in relief out of the dugout. Orozco goes back to center field. I believe Delgado slid over, and he goes back from center to left field. But again, those outfielders really difficult because they stand there and don't turn their back on these type jerseys. High fly ball, playable, infield, shortstop, and the can of corn will be put away by the shortstop Flores. Rangers score 5 runs on a myriad of hits. We'll get you the numbers after this halftime break. You're listening to High School Baseball on 98.3 KXDJ. Brad Herring on the banjo, everybody. He's a picking, and I'm a grinning. Indeed. Welcome back. Rangers were able to take advantage of a couple of errors, able to take advantage of a couple of hits, and plate 5 in that inning to lead 8-0. They left a couple of stranded. We were still trying to figure out those player position moves. They were pretty active in that 3rd inning. And we think we have things under control, but again, we're going to wait for those players to come out of the dugout and try to catch them. Catch them while they're not looking. Yep. Swing and a miss to the leadoff hitter in the inning, Terrence Flores, the shortstop. 3, 4, and 5 here in the visitors' 4th. Flores, Stovall, and Town scheduled up. I'm sure Bolter will probably get that at-bat out of the 5 spot as he came in relief on that first pitching change. Maurice Lemus still on cruise control as he comes in with an 8-run lead now, just the opposite of what he had to work with in Borger, and he's working quickly upstairs for the ball. 3-1 now for Maurice Lemus to the shortstop Terrence Flores. Rangers have played at 8 runs on 5 hits. High fly ball, left field. Atkinson camps out and pulls it down. PO7 in my book here to lead off the 4th inning. And in the top of the 4th, there's 1 away. Here's the lefty, Caleb Stovall, the first baseman. Stovall normally, with that left-hand opportunity at first base, would be able to be an advantage, but he's taken some difficult plays here today as the Rangers have been able to take advantage of a couple of errant throws. First pitch is in there for the called strike from Maurice Lemus, and Lemus, with that glove in front of his face, is waiting for Stovall to put that second foot in there, and he's bringing it. Pitch. Upstairs a little bit for ball 1. Rangers will be in the playoffs. They'll either be co-champions in the 2 seed or a 2 seed tied with Dumas as a result of this outcome today. Pulls one down the first base side. Levi Stevens is there. He'll go unassisted to the bag and put the foot down. He's putting his foot down today. In the top of the 4th inning, there's 2 away. Ethan Town will take his regular batting position, and Town could be that missing player that was in the outfield that we couldn't identify. He was substituted for by Bolter at 3rd base. Town keeps his spot. Brock Kinnigan in the on-deck circle, and Kyler Weatherford, the second sacker, is in the hole. Good breaking ball there by Lemus, but it's going to be a little bit low to Town, the 3rd baseman. Got the first hit of the ball game in the 2nd inning, but was the lead out in the first of 3 ground balls to the second baseman, Joseph Jenkins, where he was able to always cut off that lead runner with a runner at first base. 4-6, 4-6, and 4-6. And 4 pitches and 4 balls. Town will take the base on balls. For Maurice Lemus, that's his 2nd walk of the ball game, and it's a 2-out walk for the Demons to bring in Brock Kinnigan. He was the 2nd slow roller to Jenkins on the fielder's choice in his first at-bat, and there's Lemus breaking one off the table for the called strike 1. Good pitch there. Playoffs officially begin next week. They have to tie up that last ball game by May the 4th is the deadline according to the UIL. So you'll see some teams according to maybe a state track meet or a regional track meet or one-act play. You might see some midweek games for the next couple of weeks as coaches try to shuffle around some of the other activities that these kids are into. So you very well could have like a Wednesday, Friday type series or a Thursday, Saturday series. I've seen that a lot, where that allows team competition to go to track meet. Strike 3, you're out of there. Comes in the backside for the backwards K. The third strikeout of the day for Maurice Lemus. No runs, no hits, 1 left after a walk. Halftime here from Mike Hargrove Field through 3.5. Good Guys 8, Demons 0 on 98.3 KXDJ. Welcome back. Hard hit ball by Joseph Jenkins right up through the middle. That'll be a leadoff single for Jenkins out of the 3 spot. 1 pitch, 1 hit. And the leadoff man is aboard after the Rangers send 10 to the box in the 3rd inning. Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you along here from Mike Hargrove Field. 6 hits on the day for the Good Guys, and Nick Olvera will stand in with a runner at first base and nobody out. Bottom of the 4th inning, 8-0. Rangers with a big lead. Josh Norman comes in relief. And we figured out some of those position type substitutions. The main substitution is Delgado went into center field on the Orozco relief, but now is back in left field, so the outfield remains the same. Delgado in left, Orozco in center, and Kinnican in right field. Here's the pitch from Norman. Rares back and heaves one that gets away from Williams, the catcher, and Jenkins will take second base on the pass ball. Bolter comes out of the dugout and resumes his play at third base. Town, the starting third baseman, goes to second base, and Weatherford now goes to the bench. And that's the player I guess was overlooked in that where did they go routine that I played. Ground ball gets past the third baseman, bounces in the air in left field. Coach Cowan will put the brakes on Joseph Jenkins, and they'll have runners on the corners with a single from Nick Olvera. 7 hits on the ball game for the Rangers, back-to-back singles for Jenkins and Olvera. And for the second time in the ball game, a ground ball has gone over there in between short and third and hit some kind of ridge where the grass meets the dirt line, and it popped it up about 10 feet in the air. And I believe that allowed Delgado to come in and make a play on it and made Coach Kelly Cowan put the brakes on Jenkins from coming home and not allowing Olvera to get the RBI. Going the other way is Reese Atkinson down the first base line. Foul. So out of all that where did they go routine, Bolter takes third, Weatherford goes to the bench, the second baseman, and Town switches from third to second. Norman comes out of the dugout in relief, the second reliever for Dumas. As they started off the 3rd inning with Orozco, the center fielder, pitches upstairs for a ball to Atkinson, 2-1. And that decision didn't work out so well for Dumas, as Orozco faced 9 batters and gave up 5 runs in the inning. Eventually, this reliever, Norman, came in and got a pop out to shortstop. Atkinson takes one high into left center field, but it is playable by Delgado. The runner will tag. From third base comes Jenkins for the 9th run of the ball game, and the Rangers are threatening the mercy rule coming up through 5. Sacrifice fly for Atkinson into left field. Runner scores. RBI Atkinson. Olvera at first base scrambled almost to second base, thinking that, like me, might be a hit that would be able to land, but Delgado was able to make a play on it, and Olvera had to hustle back to the bag. Narano cuts one off to the right side, foul. So 9-0, bottom of the 4th inning. This is one of those situations where you don't want to back off any, but the chance of a mercy rule win today would be something special for the Rangers. If you're up by 10 after 5 innings, you can call it. Ground ball gets through the hole for Narano. And the Rangers, 3 singles in the inning and have runners at first and second with only 1 out. That's the 8th hit of the ball game for the Rangers. 9 runs on 8 hits. The big number on the board is 4, and that is in the error column for the Demons. Ay, ay, ay. Here's Eiler. Doesn't have a recorded at-bat yet as he reached base on an error in the second and walked with an RBI in the third. Eiler just has the stick on the bat, on the shoulder, lays down a bunt, down by the pitcher, Norman. Everybody's safe. Bases loaded. Zane Eiler with a very unusual attempt there. He really didn't raise that bat up and start waving it around. He just laid it on his shoulder knowing he was going to bunt and then bunted for a base hit. And he'll get a tap on the back of the head from Coach Kelly Cowan. Eiler with the perfect bunt. Third base side, deep enough from the catcher, not far enough for Bolter, who doesn't have great speed, and wide enough from the pitcher, Norman, to come off of his release and have to move to his right and create a long throwing opportunity. And this is Logan Boxwell again looking at bases loaded. Boxwell went yard and border for the grand slam over the left field wall. Had an opportunity not long ago to drive in some runs. Did, but will not get the RBI because it was an error on the third baseman. Here's Norman to Logan Boxwell. High fly ball. Center field. Coming on is Orozco. Will he get to it? Yes. Runner will not tag. Here's the throw, and it was perfect. Alvaro probably would have been gunned down. That was a terrific throw by Orozco. I'm going to go PO8 in my book, and in the bottom of the fourth inning, there's 2 away. Bases loaded with 2 outs in a 9-0 ball game. And for the Rangers, they really want this 10th run because you get 3 outs in the visitors' 5th. Rack them. This is Jahir Romero with a chance to put the game in jeopardy for the Demons. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 1 in. Bottom of the 4th. Romero takes one for the team inside. Tries to brush away. That one was close. Inside the kitchen, as Woody Van Dyke used to say. Josh Norman, the pitcher, checked to second. Everybody's safe. Romero looks at one that bounces into Williams, and he does a good job keeping the ball in front of him. With an area deep enough here in foul territory to certainly allow the speed of Alvaro to come home. He'll be in tip-top shape here mentally to try to secure that 10th run. Here's Norman, 2-0 pitch coming to Romero inside, ball 3. Here's a chance for Jahir to either have a green light, get a ball he can drive, or take ball 4, get the RBI, and put a 10 spot up with 2 outs in the inning. Romero, he does have the green light. It's a little blooper to Bolter at third, and swinging on 3-0 comes back to haunt Jahir Romero, and the side is retired. 1 run on 4 hits. Rangers lead it 9-0 going into the top of the 5th inning on 98.3 KXDJ. Visitors 5th. 9-0 Perryton coming into the top of the 5th inning. They're in the 7th spot. This is the batting spot that originally belonged to Kyler Weatherford. This will be Bolter for his first look at Maurice Lemus. First pitch is upstairs for a ball. Bolter came in to play third base. He was actually the starting pitcher in the April 2nd game. And Lemus pours in a strike on 1-0, now 1-1 for Bolter, batting for Kyler Weatherford, the second baseman. Lemus works quick. Ground ball foul as Bolter lays one down the line on the third base side. Rodrigo Parra, the starting pitcher's position, is next, and it appears he's going to hold on to that batting position. Parra out of the 8th spot, and then the catcher, Spencer Williams, will come in. Here's Lemus. Swing and a miss. Took a little velocity off of it and got Bolter to be way ahead of that one. Swinging strikeout is Lemus's 4th on the day. And in the top of the 5th inning, there's 1 away for Rodrigo Parra, the starting pitcher. Now I would suppose he would be possibly a designated hitter for the pitcher Norman. Yeah. Here's Lemus. Pitch to Parra, who is on the hook for the loss today, even though his battery mates have not been able to help the cause much either. 3 runs in the second, 5 in the third, and 1 in the fourth for the Rangers. 2-1 now from Lemus to Parra. Little tapper. Jenkins has it, running to his left. He'll make the play, 4-3. Ground ball to the right side. Joseph Jenkins takes the hopper. Goes to Stevens at first base for the ground out. And in the top of the 5th inning, there's 2 away. For Spencer Williams, struck out looking. Actually, this is going to be Norman batting for Williams in the 9 spot, I suppose. Norman will get the stick. Nice pitch by Lemus, but hangs it just upstairs a little bit. But that one had some wicked, gnarly stuff. Norman, the reliever, the 3rd one of the day, in to face Maurice Lemus for the first time. Comebacker to Lemus. Hops in the air, gets the rebound, and takes it over to Stevens. 3 up and 3 down, 1-3 on the ground out. As Lemus says, "Hey, Mom, look what I found." On 98.3 KXDJ. Welcome back to my Cargrove Field. We're continuing to get a better picture on those substitutions that have been rolling around for the Demons. What we thought was the catcher Williams, who wears number 8, is actually Parra, the starting pitcher, that's gone to catch, and that's been that way since the 3rd inning when Orozco came in relief. That's the situation that dumbfounded us here in the press box, because the protective padding that's on the chest of the catcher has a strap on the backside, and Parra is number 6, Williams is number 8, and that strapping comes over the top of the numeral. And so we've been thinking, where is this pitcher gone? Well, he went to catch in the 3rd inning. First pitch by Norman is a ball, and the second is a ball as well to Connor Lane to lead things off here in the home 5th. A run wins the game for the Rangers. Lane looking for something he can drive here. 1 for 2 today and got hit by a pitch. Connor Lane, ground ball, third base side. Bolger has it. Comes up firing. Good throw, close play, got him. 5-3. Connor Lane bounces out to the left side. Lane rolls out to Bolger. And in the bottom of the 5th inning, there's 1 away. Here's Maurice Lemus. He would love to come home. I just want to come home on Easter weekend. Line drive left field. Lemus with a single. 1 pitch, 1 hit. 1 out single. Hit hard into left field. That's the 10th hit of the ball game for the Rangers. Now Joseph Jenkins has a runner that he can drive in. And coming in to run for Perryton will be Bryce Juarez. Juarez with his speed to come in. And Maurice Lemus will come out as he gets Juarez with a chance to be the winning run. Here's Jenkins now, a hot stick today. Has put the ball in play all 3 at-bats, but only has a hit that was recorded in the 4th inning. Bounced out to the second baseman in a 4-6-3 double play in the 1st. And grounded out to the shortstop in the 3rd. Jenkins got a base hit and scored with the RBI sac fly from Reese Atkinson just a little bit ago in the 4th inning. First pitch is away for a ball to Jenkins. And Juarez takes a significant lead over there next to the left-handed first baseman Stovall. Throw over to first, not in time. Juarez was part of the Perryton one-act play that got recognized to the area around, and I believe are the regional alternates. And Juarez, with a acting career, I was able to see him when he was in a play with my daughter, and quite the character. Foul ball off to the left, 1-1. Nick Olvera is on deck, and Reese Atkinson is in the hole for the Rangers. Bottom of the 5th inning, 1 out, 1 on. Need 1 to complete the mercy rule. 10-0 anytime after 5 innings or in the 5th inning if you're the home team. Ball game. Jenkins looks at it away, and they'll go to first base. Juarez will hustle back nicely. Don't miss the UIL Baseball State Tournament, June 5th through 8th. For more information, you can visit uiltexas.org. Here's the righty, Josh Norman, coming set. Jenkins, line drive right over there by the shortstop, gets into center field. It'll be a one-base single for Bryce Juarez, and Joseph Jenkins on the hard shot just to the left of the bag as we look down from the backside of home plate. Flores tried to make a stab at it, but it was just too sharply hit. Got there in a hurry. Back-to-back singles for the Rangers, and they've got a little something cooking here in the home 5th with runners at first and second and 1 out. Nick Olvera could put it away with a swing. Jenkins at second base has decent speed. Rather, Juarez at second has decent speed, and Jenkins at first has speed as well. So you've got 2 base runners out there that can put them up and put them down. Nick Olvera having a banner day today. 3 for 3 and 2 runs scored. All singles for Nick. Here's the pitch. Away for a ball, gets away from the catcher. The runners will move up, and the force is off for Olvera. Pass ball as Parra can't control. Having a difficult day is Parra. And now a wild pitch, a sacked fly, a base hit, a wild pitch, a throw to a bag trying to hold somebody back that gets into the outfield or in foul territory. Ball game. Norman, pitch. Olvera just gets it in play left of the pitcher of Norman, and he airmails it into foul territory, and Juarez comes home. Ball game. Norman with the error going over to first base after Olvera just kind of punches it to the left of the pitcher, and Olvera goes 4 for 4 on the day, and Bryce Juarez comes in to score the winning run. Ball game, 10-0 Rangers in the mercy rule with 1 out in the 5th inning. How about that, sports fans? Rangers win! Rangers win! And are the 2 seed out of District 4-4A and the district co-champs with the Pampa Harvesters. We'll take a short timeout and come back for a post-game show. You're listening to High School Baseball on 98.3 KXDJ.